We're back.
Session 2.
Session 2.
Still snowing. It's actually really coming down now. The flakes are huge.
Yeah, well, you look at the ground and it's actually starting to. It's not just melting and running away.
No.
So I may be able to make snow angels later.
I would like to see that. I'll be in here.
Yeah.
You go outside and we show everybody.
Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm going to go home later and just chill.
Yeah.
Heaters on.
Yeah. No, we had the floor heaters on here, so that's why it starts to mist up a little bit.
I thought it was just our sexual tension.
The chemistry
Yeah.
that we have going on here. I would say that we were talking about before how this whole quarantine and sitting at home, how it actually could affect Japanese society and potentially have significant and hopefully impactful changes for the future to help with work-life balance and everything else. And yeah, as I was saying before in our previous session, is that I've been home for almost for a month now, and it's interesting. Even I'm quite of a restless person to begin with, but even being forced to be home, you are not really feeling the FOMO.
Yeah.
So the fear of missing out, which is for people that don't really know, it's this feeling of being at home or being stuck at something that you don't really want to be at, and fearing of missing out on great fun or opportunities that other people might have, because nobody's out at the moment.
That's it. There can't be any FOMO. Well, there could be, because you you have a nice place, but then you could be like, this person lives in a mansion, I'm missing out. But yeah, nobody should be out right now. There are still people out.
Yes,
but they shouldn't be.
No, well, so Tokyo haven't enforced a strict don't go out rule even this weekend, which this weekend is supposed to be the strictest one.
Yeah.
Prior to this weekend, it's just been recommended to work from home, and my company has been pretty good at really looking after us and being like, all right, only if you have meetings, try to have everything online, try to stay at home as much as possible. If you have any signs of any sickness, don't come into the office.
Yeah.
And I had a small cold like a month ago, and they just like, stay home.
Yeah.
Stay home. We'll manage this. Yeah. We got your back. You do everything you can from your house, and we even send you documents here by mail, and we'll just make sure that we get through this, because we don't want to. I think they just don't want to sterilize the entire department.
Yeah.
No, jokes aside.
Sterilize the apartment?
Like the department. Yeah, they would go in like full hazmat suits and just lit everything on fire.
Oh, I thought you meant like give everybody a vasectomy. Right. Yeah, that would... I heard I don't know how true this is, but I heard that somebody at Dentsu, this was early on, got sick, and they shut the whole of the building down, and they sent everybody home.
Yeah. No, but this is not enforced by the government, really. I mean, they of course have their recommendations, but every company is handling this a little bit differently. I had some friends that was forced to go into the office, forced, but they didn't even have the option to work from home. Yeah. And they're working in an office space. It's not like they're working like in manufacturing where they have to be on site. They're working in front of a computer, but they were still expected to come into the office every day.
Yeah.
And but other means were put in place as well. I think even before this month that I've been working from home, our company was also introducing much more flexible working hours. So they said, don't ride the train when everybody else is riding the train. Try to get minimal exposure to people. So social distancing was actually a part of our routine already 2 months ago.
Yeah, our company was doing that as well, which was really good.
Yeah.
But there are times you can't avoid it, unfortunately.
Of course. And that happens, and I think that's something you have to take into consideration. But I do hope now, when all of these slightly less strict rules around where you work and how you get to work, and hopefully people realize that it works. Like, to have a little bit of a flexible attitude and allow people to take responsibility and help each other and just find different means of communicating through the web with different and having remote meetings. I hope this whole exposure for a long period of time will actually help people here get into this kind of almost like mentality that this is something we can extend even when the need is not necessarily there from a virus point of view.
Yeah, well, I hope so too, because it has bigger impacts than that as well.
Yeah.
It lessens the amount of traffic and congestion in the cities. So if more people could work from home, it would help the flow of the city, I think, in maybe a small way. But if you've ever tried to drive a car in Tokyo, you know that there's a reason why we have such good public transport here. You know, but if you reduce all that and more people could stay at home, it would help allow things like delivery drivers to be able to have better access. It would speed up. They're not getting stuck in traffic as much as if everybody's driving.
Yeah. And then Tokyo is actually, for a 30 million people kind of metropolitan area, in terms of traffic on the roads, it's nothing in compared to some places.
Oh, definitely.
I'm just, for people who haven't been here, it's not like the smog is like, so you can't see the hand of your face and people driving around and honking and on scooters. It's actually...
Well, there's order here.
Yeah. But not only that, it's actually, I mean, in comparison to, I used to live in Taiwan, in Taipei, and I've been traveling a lot in China, in Shanghai, Beijing. I mean, that's a completely different animal.
Oh, absolutely. You know, when I was in India, it was insane. Thailand and the Philippines, it's its own beast, and it moves in its own almost organic way. But again, I don't know about China and Taiwan, but in India and Thailand, and there's the rules are more like guidelines, as opposed to like here people follow the rules pretty well. So there is that order that helps the city function. Yeah. But still, like you see the delivery drivers rushing to try and like get from this tiny, like parking the van, halfway up a building sort of thing, like, just to get out of the way so they don't block people, and they run in to deliver and then come back out. And like, there's not a lot of space in Tokyo.
No, definitely not.
So there's something about that. If there was less traffic, it would make things a little bit easier.
Yeah, and also what we talked about before in the previous session was basically that people are spending so much time commuting, so they're losing out on other opportunities and how they can actually spend their time and spend time with their family and everything else. And one thing that struck me, especially in the beginning of the East kind of working hours, and also when people start working from home, but I had a few times where I needed to go into the office anyway for meetings, and I'm walking to the office every day. So I was walking past these parks and these different areas, and sometimes around lunch hour. And you could see parents, especially the dads, because previously it's only the mothers that take their kids to school and so forth. And also, all the schools are closed, worth mentioning. So, but the dads were out playing ball with their sons and daughters in the middle of a sunny day in Tokyo a few weeks ago, and for me, I got this really emotional response that I was like, this is actually a city that I can consider living in for a prolonged period of time, and maybe even raise a family if this would be how it is all the time. Yeah. And I don't mean all the negative aspects of like not getting toilet paper or food.
Yeah, well, let's jump to that in a minute.
Yeah, living on cookies and no, but jokes aside, there's like a tranquility and a calmness that was in place when I was walking to the office, and people felt they felt more at ease and not as stressed. They were maybe not in their full suit. They had like khakis and like a nice, still very proper, but they were like playing ball with their kids and just felt happy.
Well, they may have been getting some sleep too.
Exactly. No, but for sure. Yeah. I mean, if they need to start work at 9, instead of waking up at 5, they can wake up at 8.
Yeah.
And also, they don't need to get their kids to school. And I'm not saying kids shouldn't be at school for a prolonged. I mean, but maybe I don't know. It's just, it seems to ease a lot of stress on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah. Well, there is a thing here of this culture of, and I'm not saying all people, and maybe I'm generalizing as too much of a foreigner or something, but there is this culture of like, you don't leave work before your boss, and you work, and these people are working late, and like some of the salarymen work ridiculously long hours, get very little sleep, and including that travel in there, they might be getting 3 or 4 hours sleep a day.
Yeah.
And the problem is that, you know, you do that once off, yeah, you can survive, but then you recover by getting sleep. But these people are doing it every day. So they become less efficient, less effective at their job because they're slower. They're just, their cognitive function isn't as fast as if they'd actually had a decent amount of sleep and good food, had some exercise.
Yeah, to a certain extent, this could help quality as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not of course in every field, and some parts there's definitely a benefit to just, as we're doing right now, sit next to each other and actually look at each other, see each other's responses and everything else. But no, I hope this will have a certain positive impact on society as a whole, maybe worldwide, but we're here, so it's easier to see how it have affected us and people around us.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something that I think you mentioned this when we took a walk yesterday, that Tokyo is an amazing city to be in, and it's so much fun, and the possibilities when it comes to entertainment and the access when it comes to everything from culture to technology and everything else. It's extraordinary, maybe the best place in the world, but it's a difficult city to be happy in.
Yeah, there's definitely. A friend of mine said that to me.
Yeah.
That you know, it's Tokyo is a great place to have fun, but people aren't necessarily happy, and you can see that. Again, the salaryman is a great example. Is that they would work so hard. There's so much stress and responsibility that, you know, to keep the city functioning, to keep your company happy, and then, but like, so if you rock up here and you're living especially as a foreigner, and you go out, you can have a great time and you can have fun. But then if you're thinking about raising children, is it the best place to raise children?
Yeah, and that balance.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, I think, is that life balance.
And I think the key is if companies here and people can get like, and if you're forced into finding ways of communicating and finding ways of working from home and with more flexible work hours and getting things together. And I think, I mean, although this might be, I mean, one of the worst case to forcefully implement this, I think if we look at it from a bigger picture, hopefully this will be a good thing, that you're forced into this and you get to try some of these things. Yeah. And I hope it ends up finding a balance where the companies are still happy. They're not really sacrificing quality and performance, but they're actually might get more out of their workers and happier workers, and society will thrive from a larger point of view later on.
Yeah, well, I hope it goes beyond that as well. I hope it changes the way societies function a little bit as well. Yeah. Well, like, great example. Like, let's look at toilet paper.
Yeah, taking it back to toilet paper.
Always comes back.
So should we break the news that we have? We can't disclose the identity of this person, but we know someone that's dealing in toilet paper right now.
Right. Yeah.
She's a toilet paper pimp.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
It's a bit of a problem here.
No, jokes aside, but yeah, people are stocking up, and people are ordering toilet paper, even from the US. I had a friend who ordered from Amazon in the US and got it shipped. Wow. And paid a premium. Let me put it like that.
It's that 3-ply. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's it only happened recently, but people went into that panic mode and just started buying things like other countries.
Yeah, I think because right now, this weekend, right now we're in lockdown, kind of, but it's not really forced. But it's highly recommended from the government to stay indoors Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, that was basically it.
Yeah.
So most big venues are closed in terms of like nightclubs.
I heard Shibuya 109 is closed.
Yeah, some big department stores
Yeah.
are closed this weekend. And I don't really know if they're going to continue to keep closed, but maybe this was just an experiment to see if people listen and how it will impact. And
Yeah.
I don't really know. I mean, people might argue like, what is a weekend going to do? And I'm no expert, so I don't really know. It feels like it's rather more of an experiment to see how people comply to these kind of guidelines.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they need to start doing something.
Yeah. But in general, someone told me regarding toilet paper, because maybe a lot of people are asking why toilet paper or something. And a colleague of mine actually said it's cheap enough and essential enough for people and to people to be able to bulk up on it. So it's one of those go-to things that it's easier for people to panic buy and bulk up on, because it's like within a certain like price range, and there's a certain necessity attached to it.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple of like articles that came out when this first happened. We talked about this a while ago, where you gave me one reason why you'd heard people were buying it, but there was another reason I'd read in an article that it was believed by some people, and I think it may have just been a rumor put out on social media, that all the toilet paper was coming from China.
Right.
So people got worried that they were going to run out of their supply because we weren't going to be able to get any more from China. And then people put out articles after that saying, no, that like 95% of the toilet paper and tissues in Tokyo or in Japan come from Japanese suppliers, and they have plenty and they can be making more, so it'll be back in stock. So that was one of the factors that people read that and flipped out and went and bought stuff. It's not as bad as other countries, though. No. Like, it's back in stock now, so there are places that are starting to get it back in stock.
Oh, I should run out.
Yeah. I saw some the other day. I sent you the group the image of the supermarket. But did you see the videos of Australia?
No.
There was a video, you can find it on YouTube, where in one of the supermarkets, I think it was in Victoria, a supermarket called Woolies, as we call it in Australia. These women got into a punch-up over toilet paper.
Fist fight?
Yeah. I think a couple of women got charged over it. It was pretty full-on.
That's nice.
It was like over like a 30-pack of toilet paper or something. It's like, guys, really? Like, are we at the point where we need to brawl over toilet paper? Like, is that
where we're at?
Yeah, I feel like there's, like, if we're getting to that point, there's probably other things that we should be more worried about than toilet paper. And
also here you have the highly versatile toilets with the washlets.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is basically a bidet function. Yeah. So you get like this small thing.
Well, I hope it's not fingers. Fingers just come out of the toilet.
It feels like it if you put on
high power.
High power. I usually don't tell people what it is. I just like first time visitors. Yeah. So I just
press this button. Well, you hope they're still sitting down. They hope that they don't turn around and press the button and just shoot in the face.
True. No. But it's I had some fun reactions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. People tend to either love it or hate it.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of used to it because in Southeast Asia they have like hoses.
Yeah.
Like, so they have basically the same thing, but it's like a hose you can use and stuff. And on islands in Thailand and in the Philippines, you're not supposed to flush the toilet paper.
No.
So you throw that in the bin and you use
because of the piping.
Yeah.
I've speaking of toilet paper here in comparison to how toilet paper is from back home is it dissolves in water much easier.
Yes.
So I think that's how they handle it here to ease their the load on the system, so to speak.
Yeah. I actually have some toilet paper that's made out of old milk cartons, I think.
Here?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I bought it at Maruetsu.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but it doesn't. It's not like doesn't have the sort of serrated cut, so you can tear it easy. It's just one big roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was other issues with the toilet paper and alcohol wipes and stuff that people were starting to hoard them to be able to sell on Amazon. This is mainly in the US, I think,
Okay.
at premiums to make some money, and then I think Amazon shut most of that down. But here in Japan, there's not the space for most people to have,
things at home. No.
Yeah, that much toilet paper. So, and my cousin actually went to Costco a few weeks ago on a Friday, and there was a person that had a trolley. It was like 7 foot tall of toilet paper. Like they just started hoarding toilet paper. Yeah, and I'm guessing it had to be selling the toilet paper because you're not going to buy like 30 years worth of toilet paper and stock your house with it. So I think they were probably selling it for a premium. But,
or just have a bunch of friends that'll be like, "Are you going to Costco? Get me some toilet paper."
Yeah, I'll show you the picture later. It was a lot of toilet paper.
Oh, okay.
Like you'd have to have a lot of friends all needing toilet paper to buy that much toilet paper.
Or he just wanted to build a fort.
Well, that could be the other thing. But I like to think that somebody was out there thinking, oh, we can make a quick buck out of this. We'll buy some toilet paper because when it runs out, and now there's no need for it because there's toilet paper everywhere again, and they're stuck with this toilet paper in the house, and the wife's like, well, what are we going to do with all this now?
Yeah. I don't know if it's here or somewhere else or in China, but I heard that making a profit out of like necessities like toilet paper, face masks and stuff like that is super illegal, and you can get quite severely punished in terms of need.
Right. I know in the US each state has different laws, but there definitely is like some of the people whose Amazon sites got shut down were also being investigated by local authorities. Yeah. Because it's
I mean, it's disgusting in a way. Of course, it's capitalism and everything else, and people are trying to make a quick buck. But I mean, in terms of, we need to come together. It's the wrong kind of approach to the problem.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it definitely differentiates the type of people in the world. You'll see these people, and then there's the people that actually do come together to help in times of need. I don't think it. I think it's pretty gross when people are doing this.
Yeah. I think hopefully this will in general will help everybody to come together and just reassess certain aspects in life.
We can all wipe together. So that's one thing I will say is nice about Tokyo is people aren't, besides the 7 foot trolley of toilet paper and like most people aren't panic buying right now for most things. Like you can still go to the supermarket. Bar last week's sort of issue with, sorry, my phone's going off. Bar last week's issue of bread and pastas and rice and stuff being bought. Everything's pretty much in stock now, so it's okay.
And I think this is also a part of the fact that it's not fully shut down.
Yeah.
So things are still, even though there's been instances where there were like queues to even get into the supermarket here.
Yeah.
But people were still very much behaving, very calm, standing in queue, not trying to push.
I'll turn the volume off.
Yeah, no.
I am listening.
No, so the international supermarket just down the road here.
Yeah.
They had at the announcement of this shutdown, this weekend shutdown, they had a limited amount of people allowed in the store to lower the infection risk, and also they had like a line up where you had to line up to be able to get in. And of course there was some people buying a lot of different things, but in the end people were still very civil and courteous about it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I went the day after you.
Yeah.
And I went in the daytime, and there was nobody there, and all the food was restocked.
Okay.
So,
Okay, that's great. Maybe it was just that day, the day of the announcement, lunch hour.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody was just like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fine. I sent you that picture of the the vegetarian section.
Yeah,
that you
nobody
told me.
touched it.
Yeah, 'cause everything else is gone, but no, there was actually all the.
But there's no vegetarians in Tokyo. Almost. There's a handful, but it's not really a concept that has been widely introduced here. No, which is great in terms of me being able to get food in times like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost did another 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're at 25.
We're at 25. Yeah.
Shall we take a break?
Take a break, and let's see where we go from here.
All right, cool.
Right, cheers.
Try to catch me howling at the moon.